If I was doing any better, my smile would be a socially intrusive maladaptive behavior. Jacked out of my mind, I ain't taking it back. Now, come on, y'all, give it up. Give it up. I kind of always show up like that. Sometimes I show up like this. And I say to you today, my friends, that in spite of the difficulties and frustrations of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream.
Yes, sir.
It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream.
Yes, sir.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but the content of their character. I have a dream today.
Come on here.
I have a dream that one day, down in Mississippi, with this vicious racist, with this governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and dripping with the words of nullification.
Come on, D.
One day, right there, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls and walk together as sisters and brothers. I have a dream today.
Come on here.
I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted.
Come on.
Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places shall be made plain, and the crooked places shall be made straight, and the glory of the Lord shall be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope. And this is the faith that I go back to the South with. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we will be able to transform the jangling discords of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we will be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. And this will be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, 'tis of thee. Sweet land of liberty of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim's pride. From every mountainside, let freedom ring. And if America is to be a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom ring. From the prodigious hilltops of New Hampshire. Let freedom ring from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom ring from the snow-capped Rockies of Colorado. Let freedom ring from the curvaceous slopes of California. Let freedom ring from the heightening Alleghenies of Pennsylvania. But not only that, let freedom ring from Stone Mountain of Georgia. Let freedom ring from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom ring, and when this happens,
Yes, sir.
when we let freedom ring, when we let it ring from every village and every hamlet, from every state and every city, we will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Protestants and Catholics, will be able to join hands and sing in the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
Go ahead.
I listened to it this morning for the 2000th time. And as I was listening to it this morning, I swear, man, you know, and every time you hear it, you cry. because you know the next day they took him out.
Yeah, man.
It was the last thing he had to say, and you can get the sense that it was his last one. He spoke it like it was his own eulogy.
Yes, sir.
And what he said was, he said, we do these things, we withdraw economic support, and at the same time, we're building a stronger economic base for ourselves. And then he said, the worst thing we can do is not carry this out. He said, and I ask you to see it through. And tonight, I'm proud to say that every Monday night, we come here at 6 p.m. to see it through.
Hallelujah.
Every Monday night, we come here at 6 p.m. to see the economic agenda through. And what is that agenda? Financial education, entrepreneurial empowerment and development, and pooling our resources together. And don't you know that everyone who is on the wealthier side of life knows that the real strength of your net worth is your next work.
That's right. That's right.
Tonight, we come here on Monday nights to strengthen our network and our networking. Several years ago, Dr. McCarthy caught wind of a young boy who was laying face down on the concrete. His arms were still up this way, because this was the way he died, with his hands up. And the rallying call was hands up, don't shoot. And Dr. McCarthy saw that all of the people were trying to get some change to come and bring about change, not just in Ferguson, but because that's micro for the big macro of everything else, but all across the nation. And most people viewed it as a social ill, but it's not just another social ill. Dr. McCarthy wrote a book called Wall Street to the Hood. And in that book, he said that you cannot solve economic problems with social solutions. And that's what this is. Solving economic problems with economic solutions. Money Talk Mondays. It started as Ferguson 1000, and then it spread across the country. It went to Baltimore after Freddie Gray. Then it went out to LA and became LA 1000. Then Chicago 1000, and Miami 1000. And now it's big, giant global 1000 doing wealth summits all over the country and tying in black tech, and a whole lot of other wonderful things are happening. And tonight you're going to see yet another piece that the 1000 is plugged into. And this is a pretty significant one. I'm pretty proud of what we're going to see here tonight. And my mama taught me that when a train is coming, you don't play on the tracks. So I'm going to get out of the way and decrease and allow the man of the moment to increase. He is my friend and my brother. I'm glad to see him tonight because he wasn't here last week, and I didn't know how important it was going to be to me to see him on a Monday after missing him on one. Y'all know what I'm saying? He's my brother, and I'm glad that God bless him with health and strength to be here. I want y'all to stand to your feet and receive Dr. McCarthy.
Let's go. We up in the mix.
Thank you very much, James Dickerson. If you all don't know, we have a vibe, and the vibe is not only Monday night Mondays, Money Making Mondays, it's also business church. And we don't make an apology for being God-led. So if you don't know, that was praise and worship. It is our objective, as James mentioned, to help create an infrastructure for black empowerment. Very simple. If we're going to right the wrongs of this country, it is important to create black millionaires, empower black people. We want to do that through tech and a wide variety of things. God inspired man to write the Bible, and is inspiring man and woman tonight. We are making history. We're going to hear a phenomenal platform that we're launching here, not only in St. Louis, but across the country. And it's not by accident that we're doing this tonight on the celebration of Martin Luther King Jr., who has an economic agenda. And so we talked tonight about the New March. The New March specifically talking about economic empowerment is clearly our objective to this whole. As James said, we started this 5 years ago as Ferguson 1000, which created 1,000 jobs in the St. Louis and Ferguson area. We've now grown to 8 cities, 10 countries. The goal is 50 cities and 50 countries in order to create an economic development plan. And we do this every Monday night, so we want you to come back and share and bring your ideas to be able to do a specific strategy for our people. I had a partner who funded us for the first couple of years. He said, why do you meet every Monday night? And I said, why do you go to the country club every day? We have to have an agenda, particularly for black people with a specific agenda. If you don't know, St. Louis is under an economic development revitalization. There's $8 billion in projects that are happening for the next 5 years. You may have seen 5 hotels that are being built downtown. You see the NBA. So many things are happening, but it's important to make sure that African Americans are part of this economic revitalization. Through our platform, we're going to make sure that happens. So what we're going to do tonight, a brief introduction, because we always want to know who's in the room. We then will do a small prayer, and then we will move into the agenda from our great speakers. My brothers have a vision that we've been fortunate to go around the country and do. We're going to announce that tonight. All righty? So with that being said, I want you to talk for 5 seconds who you are and who you're with, because too many times we come to events we don't know who's in the room. I talked to a lot of pastors around the country and I said, have you done an assessment of the talents on the pews? If you ask them what their ideas, no disrespect, Pastor, but you're not going to talk to Jesus. So we got people who have ideas and concerns, and if we're in the room sharing those ideas and concerns, we can have a better agenda. All right? So that's going to be what we're going to do. 5 seconds, who you are, who you're with. Then I'll give you an overview of what we're doing, and then we'll bring up the great speakers for this evening.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. My name is Christina Kelly. I am Director of Special Projects with Global 1000.
Gregory Norris with my lady friend Horty Mason, and with Aces for Youth. We're also here in support of the BSA, the Blood Streets of America, from Alton, Illinois. Thank you.
My name is Rose Guess, and I'm with Financial Education Services, and what I have to offer is credit restoration.
My name is John Cub. I'm an agent with Credit Financial Educational Services, and I'm here to offer a business opportunity with Credit Financial Education Services.
Hi, my name is Lenore Hall, and I just started my new business called Newfound Freedom LLC, my financial advisory company.
Hi everyone, my name is Portia Anderson, the Wealth Mindset Strategist. I am an empowerment coach and speaker, and I love working with female entrepreneurs and helping them to live out their best lives and accomplish their financial goals.
I'm Hanson. Watch you. I also run the City Faces program for kids out at Peabody's and Melvin for 6 months.
Bob Boski. I own a company called Large Chocolate Shake, the perfect blend of black ideas. We basically maintain and create a network for black thought, for economic development, and I do graphics, photography, different marketing things.
Hello everyone, I am Erica Jones. I am the founder of Voice of the Voiceless. I am also a gun violence advocate for mothers who have lost.
Hello everybody, my name is Adam Hopkins. I'm the owner and founder of Melvin Design and also director of Conscious Fest. With Melvin Design, I do brand strategy, so brand development, anything in that space, that's what I do.
Good evening. My name is Gloria Canton.
HSSU, Sustainability Urban Ecologists. I'm working on my degree. I'm into networking and my network also, because I feel that outside of all the economy, we have to be sustainable for your kids, my kids, grandkids, my great-grandkids, etc.
My name is Brandon Hayes. I came here because I have a older daughter. I just recently graduated from college at UCL last month. It's a BSBA in Computer Information Systems.
How we doing, everybody? My name is Jervias. I'm here from Temple House with the Salvation Army, and I'm also a photographer.
You sit down right here.
I'm Patricia Peoples. I just started my own business with Stonergy LLC. Basically, I want to be able to get out and employ my own. So it's an infusory company, herbal infusory and coffee company. So that's what I'm here for, to network, and I also started my real estate investing.
Hello, my name is Marquand Peoples, and I'm here with my mom. I'm just here to be inspired to do better things.
All right.
I'm currently a freshman at Lincoln University, and I'm going through the process of buying my first business.
Hello, everyone. My name is Clifford Jarman. I'm here for the 11 Streets of America with my nephew, Melvin White.
Hello, everybody. My name is Reginald White. I'm here to support Love the Streets of America, and that's my brother, Melvin White.
Hello, everyone. My name is Darnell Singleton. I'm for Funky Cows Productions. We're a media production house, and we do media production of all types. I'm out late to Johnson. Is he gonna give me the next job?
Yeah, you got you right.
And I'm here to mention, this is my beautiful wife, Autumn.
All right.
That's Dr. J.A. Salam. I'm a journalist as well as entrepreneur, and I'm director of communications, worked directly with Dr. Lance for about 35 years, and so I'm just happy to be here and see all your smiling faces.
All right. I'm Ron Llewellyn. I'm the faith-based director for Global 1000, Ferguson 1000.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ferguson. I'm here to represent multiple organizations and multiple affiliates, but of course I'm here to support my boy Melvin White, and of course the $1 billion initiative. So I'm going to get more information.
All right.
Good evening. My name is Danielle Lewis, and I'm here to support my brothers Melvin and Juan in the Beloved Streets of America.
Good evening, I'm Caleb Hughes. I'm a freshman at Washington University in St. Louis. Studying major in political science. I'm here to support Melvin White, Juan Hall, two my dad's good friends.
Hi, my name is Chico Weber. I'm a product designer. I'm here to support BSA.
I'm Mike Lowe, I'm an electrician. I'm here to support Juan, them, Sean, and I work on rehabbing houses, some of the worst is made.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Jason Whitmore. I do sales for Pepsi. I'm here in support of the Beloved Streets of America.
Hi, my name is Tara Hall. I'm the wife of Dewan Hall, so of course I'm here to support him and my brother Melvin White. I also am an entrepreneur, and I have a boutique, Elon's Fashion Closet, and I also do empowerment workshops and empowerment brunches and things to inspire and empower young women.
My name is Sean Hughes. I'm here to support BSA, Melvin White, Ron Hall. I'm a motivator and a generator.
I like that.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Anton French. I'm here to support the Beloved Streets with Sean Melvin. I'm a baseball instructor, so I kind of care about, you know, the baseball, did that for a while. So there's a few of my colleagues that really care about the numbers and how the kids aren't playing baseball anymore. So I'm here to feed off of that and see what I can do to, you know, get you guys to come back to that love of baseball.
I am Darius Marcel Hagans. I am an entrepreneur. I'm the owner of T3T Company, Smarter Wellness, and Nostalgic Forevers, which is one of the people who helped support the Beloved Streets of America initiative and help create the video you'll see tonight.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ed Freeman. I'm here in support of Brother Melvin White and Beloved Streets of America.
Good evening. I'm Trinae Kelly, and I'm here to support Melvin White. I'm author rep for Equifax. I work in corporate America, and I'm trying to get out. I'm a natural healer, and I'm leaving natural benefits and eating healthy. So.
That's right.
All right, now.
Hi, my name is Christine, and I'm here to support Melvin and Juan. And also, I am an owner of a nursing staffing agency, and I employ CNAs, LPNs, and RNs in hospitals in the area.
Okay. All right, now.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Larry Cohn. I'm co-founder of the space that you're in, which is called NexCore. We are a business incubator, business accelerator, anything that you are passionate about to pursue your dreams, make the community better, and a place where opportunity meets collaboration. Welcome.
Okay, my name is Landon Pitts. I'm the founder and CEO of Mentors in Motion. We educate people in entrepreneurship. I'm also the principal of ICA.
All right.
Hello, my name is Jamal Isaac. I'm just a humble city employee for the St. Louis Fire Department. Melvin White's my cousin. I'm here to support Beloved Streets of America.
Hello, my name is Pamela Isaac, and I'm also a city firefighter, and I'm also here to support Melvin White.
My name is Blake Watkins. I am the owner of I&I Gallery. Actually, we have a store back here in NexCore, but we've been down at Soulard Market for 31 years and have a lot of stores throughout the St. Louis area for 31 years. Actually.
All right,
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
All right,
I'm Roderick Smith. I'm an entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur, and a musician. Also go by El Guapo, Royal Family Music Coalition. Like I said, I'm a serial entrepreneur, fashion, music, cannabis. I'm all over the place. So.
All right.
Two gentlemen right there.
Irvin E.
Yeah, people behind me.
My name is Earl Dawson. I'm in support here for Melvin White and Juan. Good friends of mine for 25 years.
I lived in the Ville for so many years. You know, came out of Beaumont High School in 1974. We on the monumental Surrey North Market. And you know, we on the barbershop called Cut Us. And you know, I'm here to support Melvin White. And you know, we trying to do a lot for the community, but you know, I don't think they trying to do too much because they can do much, but you know they ain't trying. And I'm tired.
As you can see, there's a lot of talent and a lot of love in the room. One thing the proud about ourselves on Monday night. You can be transparent and share because you're amongst family. You can be 110% black here on Monday night, and I apologize for it. Because sometimes psychologically, we don't even realize how we are mentally shackled based on trying to fit in. And it's not our mechanism to do that. You never have a problem with a bird being a bird, so don't have a problem with black being black. That's right.
All right, now. All right.
Alrighty, so we have food and drink, but we have so many people here, so we're gonna do it after. We're gonna start though with prayer. So Bishop Wells, you can start us with prayer. I will go into a brief overview, and then we're going to bring up the speaker. Bishop.
Would you bow your head and most of all your heart? Let us pray. Our Father and our God, you've been better to us than we've been to ourselves.
Yes,
For
Lord.
that, again, we say thank you.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for traveling mercies. Thank you for this wealth of talent.
Yes, Lord.
Thank you for my brothers and my sisters. Help us to fit in where we belong.
Yes, Lord.
Speak to us, mind, body, soul, and spirit. We pray that everything be done decent and in order.
Yes,
We give you all the praise, honor, and glory for what you've done, for what you're doing, and for what you're about to do.
Yes,
In the
Lord.
ageless and matchless name of Jesus. And everybody said amen and amen.
Amen.
Amen. So I'm going to give you a quick update on some of the things that Global 1000 is working on, and then we're going to bring up our speakers for the evening. These are some of the things we're working on. We work all across the country. As I said, we're in 7 cities and 2 countries, and we do a wide variety of things. One is cannabis banking. Banking for the cannabis industry. If we don't realize it, we know that it's not federal yet. It is state by state, so we're able to help cannabis organizations do banking. We also do cannabis boot camps. We've done in New Jersey, in Illinois, and here in Missouri to make sure that African Americans are part of this industry. Too many of us have gone to prison when it was illegal, and as it moves to legalization, we want to make sure that we're equity. We also were featured in Forbes magazine by doing these boot camps. Next is CES Black Tech. We were participating in the largest tech conference in January out in Vegas. Here's our objective: to grow black tech firms. We use it almost like a record label. We find tech firms and help them grow and be able to create jobs. We just came back from the Black Restaurant Association meeting in Atlanta. This was the first of its kind to bring black restaurant owners and black nightclub owners and assist them in growing their brand. We're going to do this all across the country as well. Super Bowl Investment Summit will be in Miami, presenting a pitch to player, which is our version of Shark Tank. Tech firms will be pitching to us to be able to assist them in growing from that mechanism. NBA All-Star Weekend, which is in Chicago in February, we'll do the same thing. We'll bring athletes together for black tech firms to pitch to us to help them grow. And then also the NFL Draft, which is going to be in April in Vegas, doing the same thing. We concentrate on 5 C's: capital, having access to capital, assist African American businesses growing. Cannabis, I mentioned to you not only on the financing side, but also on the equity side. Crypto, we have 2 companies we deal with that have their own crypto analysis. You may not understand cryptocurrency, but it's not going anywhere. We've gone from paper, analog system, to a digital one currency. We have a genius by the name of Jared Arms we work with around the country with that. Sales, we are working with stem cell companies. If you don't understand the model, it is growing like never before. No more hip replacements, no more knee replacements. We have an opportunity to be able to penetrate that market. And then the last C is continent, doing business in Africa. As we know that Ghana did a comeback to us last year, and how we're able to move our agenda forward. ACON just got approved to create its own currency over in Africa as well. So there's a lot of things going on. It is our objective to make sure we keep you informed so you can move the agenda forward to create black wealth. All right? Just some of the things we're working on. Now, the man of the hour. Again, as I mentioned earlier, God inspires man to write the Bible, but he's inspiring history today.
Amen.
Because we know and we've all heard of the great March on Washington with Brother Martin Luther King Jr. But the march now is economics.
Right.
And these brothers took on a vision that was enormous. Sometimes when you look at something so large, you believe that you can't do it or it's difficult. And so I've been working with them over a year. We've traveled to Harvard, we went down to Alabama to meet with the black mayors. We've been collectively putting together an agenda to move the Martin Luther King Jr. model forward. He'll tell you his story, but I'll just give you a quick overview because it's such a touching story. Melvin being a former postal worker, walking down the street over Martin Luther King, where he saw pimps, prostitutes, trash, etc., and looked up at the sign of Martin Luther King Jr. and said he would be embarrassed based on what's happening only here in St. Louis with the 900 streets around the country. How can we come up with an agenda to put economics into Martin Luther King streets across the country by creating jobs, by doing revitalization, by looking at new technology? And these brothers took on the fight to make that happen here in Dewan. Now, tonight, we're launching an initiative called the $1 billion fund in order to create capital to do the project. Now, there's 42 million African Americans in the United States. There's 325 million American citizens, and there's 7 billion people in the world. So $1 billion really isn't a lot if you look at it from the perspective. We're very fortunate also to start the campaign with a great advertising firm out of Atlanta. They've been doing social media, and funds have begun to come in. So you have an opportunity to not only witness history tonight, but to be a part of a platform that we believe is going to change the trajectory of African Americans across this country on the 900 plus streets in America. So I want you to stand to your feet to announce and bring two brothers who had the vision of making the beloved streets of America happen. Mr. Melvin White and Mr.
First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us. Johnny Cub, all my family, friends, for supporting this initiative tonight. I'm going to give you a brief introductory about how everything came about, as well as do a PowerPoint in a little bit. But first, I want to put in a 15-minute video, and I want to thank everybody who was a part of that. And I'm going to call him up, stand up, Sean Hughes. Without his direction with this video, I think it would be great for this initiative, and he stood tall with it for about four months. We finally got it together. Mr. Sean Hughes, gotta give him a round of applause. Yeah. All the people that helped on it, I want everybody to stand up, join their singing.
Last but not least, Caleb.
Okay. That little guy right there put in work. Yeah. He started a video, high school student, and he did his thing in his video, like you about to see right now. So I appreciate everybody for putting this video together. This thing right here is gonna go viral. It's touching. Might shed a few tears, but here we go. We're about to pop it in right now. Got the video together. And after this, we'll go ahead into the program, tell you a little bit more about Beloved Streets and some of the people that's working with our initiative. And we'll go from there.
Tag the video, boy.
We even named streets after people that we can know. Sounds good. That's just not what I
several things that one could talk about before such a large, concerned, and enlightened audience. There are so many problems facing our nation and our world that one could just take off anywhere. I'd like to use as a subject from which to speak this afternoon the other America. And I use this subject because there are literally two Americas. One America is beautiful for a situation. In many senses, America is overflowing with the milk of prosperity and the honey of opportunity. This America is the habitat of millions of people who have food and material necessities for their bodies, culture and education for their minds, freedom and human dignity for their spirits. In this America, millions of people experience every day the opportunity of having life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in all of their dimensions. In this America, millions of young people grow up in the sunlight of opportunity. But tragically and unfortunately, there is another America. This other America has a daily ugliness about it that constantly transforms the brilliancy of hope into the fatigue of despair. In this America, millions of work-starved men walk the streets daily in search for jobs that do not exist. In this America, millions of people find themselves living in the rat-infested, vermin-filled slums. In this America, people are poor by the millions. And they find In a larger sense, we've got to see this in our world today. Our white brothers must see this. They haven't seen it up to now. Great problem facing our nation today in the area of race is that it is the black man who to a large extent produced the wealth of this nation. The nation doesn't have sense enough to share its wealth and its power with the very people who made it so. I know what I'm talking about this morning. Black man made America right. That's why I tell you right now, I'm not going anywhere. They can talk. These groups, some people talking about a separate state. Go back to Africa. I love Africa. It's our ancestral home. I don't know about you. My grandfather and my great-grandfather did too much to build this nation for me to be talking like that way. Empty pockets that needed access to money. Because they failed to realize their dependence on us. Finally, this man was a fool because he failed to realize his dependence on God. Do you know that man talked like he regulated the seasons? Because he ended up acting like he was the creator instead of the creature. This man's sin of foolishness is still alive. A lot of people get involved. People just get involved in other things. Like you look at now and try to decipher. You may not remember it because it's way back now, several years, but it was the beginning of a movement where 50,000 black men and women refused absolutely ride the city buses, and we walked together for 381 days. Yes, sir. That's what we got to learn in the North. The Negroes had to learn to stick together. We stuck together.
This man, just beyond words, truly great. He died fighting to better our lives. I mean, this man died for me, and we never even met. Thank you, Dr. King. Thank you. Thank you. I wonder, do they know how I see Martin Luther King Street?
to show you what I did for my MLK Street initiative. All right, y'all. Now, I done showed y'all what I got, but I want to see what you got for your MLK Street initiative. Go ahead, send it in. Show us how you see your MLK.
Post your thoughts, pictures, and any forms of artistry to belovedstreetsofamerica.org. Help us better the MLK Street in your city by making a $1 donation with your submission. All proceeds will go to Beloved Streets of America.
Okay, my name is Melvin, founder and CEO of Beloved Streets of America. Before I get into the whole mission and vision of our organization, I want to talk about first how the whole vision came about. Everybody always asks me, how did this thing come up with this? We'll start from back in the day, 2004. Former postal worker, retired from the post office. At this particular time, I was carrying mail, delivering mail on Martin Luther King and Delmar, and a mile away is Martin Luther King Street. So those were my routes. So at that particular time, I was driving down Delmar, and Delmar was just starting to be redeveloped at this time. And people from St. Louis know that Delmar used to be like Martin Luther King, crime-ridden street, you know, coming up back in the day. But at this particular time, they were starting to pump dollars into the street. You could see it. Business started to come, starting to thrive just a little bit. And right now, you can look at Delmar and look at what it looked like now. That's what MLK Street should look like, what Delmar look like right now. So traveling a mile away, I'm riding down Martin Luther King Street, and at this time, I'm looking at abandoned buildings, trash. I'm looking at people selling drugs right in front of me. And looking at the street sign, it just hit me. I'm like, wow, this is Martin Luther King. There's no way that he should be remembered in a light like this. I've always heard about the MLK streets across the country. Chris Rock made jokes about it. And so I was like, man, I gotta change this. I gotta try to change it. So over the next 5 years, traveled various MLK streets from Detroit, Houston, Miami, Wilmington, Delaware, Houston, Texas, Indianapolis, Chicago. I mean, probably hit about 20 cities over the next 5 years. And I found out the majority of them were in the same kind of conditions as our street here is in St. Louis. They run directly down the urban core of some of these urban cities. And most of them are in the same condition as our St. Louis MLK Street. So 2010, we formed a nonprofit organization called the Beloved Streets of America. Martin Luther King always spoke on beloved communities. So we took the word beloved and we called it Beloved Streets of America. So 2010, we got an office right there on Martin Luther King in Hamilton. And we set up shop right there. I wanted to be right there in the heart of things to try to change the mindset of people over there in the community. So over the course of 3 years, we got out there and engaged with the community, giving out food, clothes. We had marches, we had rallies, we had cleanups. Man, we did it all for a while, getting up in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, just doing our thing out there. So in that particular time, we started to gain some traction. You know, started getting some national attention. CNN, we've been featured on in USA Today. We've been featured on front of Riverfront Times. We won the Rosa Parks Award. So we've been starting to get national attention for the initiative and what it stood for. 2015, we got Harvard University. Got a call from a man down there, Dan Doken. Like, hey man, I love what you're doing. I want to bring some students down there, some architect students to try to help with some designs and some things like that. So they flew the architect students down here. We took a look at our MLK Street as well as Washington, D.C. So they came up with some designs that we can still utilize today at this time. So they actually did a class about beloved communities. They still using that model right now today at Harvard University. So 2018, we got another call from a man down there called, his name is David Harris. He's over the Charles Hamilton Institute at Harvard Law. So we flew down there. That's when we and Doc and Juan flew down there. We gave a presentation.
And 2019, we went down there and gave a presentation. That's why they're doing a whole class about beloved communities. They're actually taking our model and using that for the whole Harvard students down there at Harvard University. During that time, we partnered with a lot of national organizations from the African American Mayors Association. We partnered with the World Conference of Mayors. We partnered with the Alabama Black Conference of Mayors. So we got a network right now that's strong nationally, and they're willing to help push this initiative and push our agenda as we march toward this $1 billion. So we brought the governor here back in August. So that was one of the last things we did. We brought the governor to we took him right down to Martin Luther King so he could see for himself. You know, a lot of people, they hear about it, but when they see it, it's a whole different situation. So he was looking around like, man, this is crazy. I mean, for real, I pointed to the street lights. The city got $4 million for some street lights. But yet, it's a whole row of just abandoned buildings. What could you do with, I said, man, what could we do with $4 million? He's like, man, I see what you mean. Where's the grocery store in this neighborhood?
That's right.
I was like, man, $4 million, we could pop all kind of grocery stores up and everything else with $4 million. So we did a presentation where we asked him for $100 million. We said, hey man, this is what we need for 5 years. We need 100. He was like, narrow it down, and we break it down. So Friday we go meet with him. We said, hey, we need $20 million to start this project off. That's the first phase. So we go up to Jeff City on Friday. We're gonna knock on the We're gonna get that. I ain't worried about it. We're gonna get that. So that's currently where we are right now. I'm gonna pop this PowerPoint in real quick. Then we'll let my man DeJuan Hall, who's been my soldier with me for the last 5 years, help me pushing this grind all the way to the finish. You know, a lot of people come in, they fall off when you're not able to pay some people. With a nonprofit, it's gotta be straight from the heart. He came on in with me when I needed him and helped us push it all the way through the door like we're right now. So, where you at, Chief? Okay. I'm gonna breeze through this real quick because I know time. Our mission is bound by a united vision. Beloved Streets of America fosters collaborations among individuals, groups, and organizations to generate resources to revitalize and conserve streets that bear the honorable name of Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Our vision is that every street within the United States that bears Dr. King's name is vibrant, beautiful, and prosperous communities and streets. In our 15-year study, like I spoke before, we found out the majority of these streets are in impoverished sections of the country, crime-ridden, and they typically lack any sustainable economic development activities on these streets. There's over 900 streets that's been placed on Dr. King's name. We got some majority in the United States, but we also have some over there in Haiti, Germany, India, and things of that nature as well. So they're all look the same. I've seen them. We do have some success stories of some Martin Luther King streets. Some in Indianapolis. That's some of our partners. We came up there and did some outdoor gardening up there in Indianapolis. So Milwaukee, they're doing some things. So there are some success stories on certain Martin Luther King street. So we want to repair, revitalize, reduce the blight in these streets. 51 cities that we want to get. These are the cities that we are looking to redevelop. These cities are some of our biggest cities across the country. All of these have MLK streets. So we're looking to, once we get the building, we can go and do development in various MLK streets. It's just like St. Louis is just where we're born and raised from, but our initiative is national. So those are some of the press that we've had. I mentioned those. KMOV, we've been featured on numerous news and national coverage as well. We won awards, recognitions. We won a grant through Wells Fargo for our urban agriculture initiative. My man Chico right there, he's going to tell you a little bit more about the urban agriculture initiative that we have. Which is that urban agriculture. He hit on that a little bit more. We know that the majority of these streets are in food deserts. So there's a lot of vacant lands and vacant land that's out here just sitting there. And there's not a lot of fresh vegetables in these areas. So a lot of our communities suffer from high blood pressure, diabetes, and so on and so forth, just because it's simply not enough fresh vegetables and food in these areas. That's our aeroponic system. He'll explain more about that, where you grow vegetables indoors using the light mist. The mist goes straight to the root of the plant, and these vegetables will be 5 times more fresher than the vegetables that you get in any grocery store. So once we start producing our own vegetables, we got the best vegetables that you can get. Global 1000 is my partner right here. So we partner with them. Global 1000 to bring technology, black tech jobs to these Martin Luther King streets and these corridors across the country. Been partnering with them for over a year. Those are another one of our partners here. We grow. They produce vegetables. They're partnering with us as well to be able to implement some of these indoor gardens. Those are my guys I was talking about at Indianapolis. We helped them to do some urban planting and urban gardening up there in Indianapolis. We went up there and traveled up there along with them as well. Solar technology, that's another thing we want to focus on. A lot of this, we're getting hit with high, outrageous electric bills. But when we start developing on these MLK streets, we making them solar because we can control all our energy. The energy bill will be totally cheaper.
Amen.
You know, so we're going with solar technology on a lot of our projects as we move forward. Youth facilities, those are another thing. Sports and recreation, there's nothing to play. Our kids, they don't have nothing to do anymore. We want to implement sports and recreation facilities where they can get out here and start having something to do besides being out in the streets. We can train them. We have my man, Antoine, he does baseball. You know, and he can train. We got a lot of talent up here to help these kids move forward as well. Those are some of the awards. We had a Legacy Award dinner where we awarded some of the outstanding work from other organizations that's in St. Louis. Sylvester Brown, he got a sweet potato project. He's doing great work with teaching kids entrepreneurial skills on how to grow sweet potatoes and how to run a business with sweet potatoes. The legacy part, that's a great project. The art, my man Derek Lauer just designed this right here. We hope to implement these in various MLK streets. What it is a park that honors local historians. Okay, we're losing out on our history. Our kids don't know who half the people right here. Those will be plaques all around it. You get information. It might say Red Fox. It might say Sammy Davis Jr. Whatever. All the historians that have paved the way in certain aspects. And it'll be information about them. You know, it's a gathering point. We can have outdoor venues. We can talk about what's going on in the community, what's needed. So that's a powerful part that will be implemented. And it's a great design that Derek Lauer did, man. Give him a round of applause. Appreciate it, man. He's been on board with me for 7 years, doing all kind of design work. And he's been just a great help to this organization. So I appreciate it. These are some of the things, of course, clean up, salvage material, streetscape, removed some of the fences and commercial spaces needed for minor repair, repair the sidewalks, curbs, add new fences, add street lights, and so on and so forth. Clean repair tools, we already know that. Some of the things that we want to make restaurants, community centers, security, museums and galleries, indoor music venues. And what we want to focus on, we got some people that's about to talk about those things, specifically that's working with our organization, and they'll be getting up here and talking about that in a minute. And parks, playgrounds, community centers, and so on and so forth. Upgrades to the physical landscape, gathering spaces, all that self-explanatory as you need. Yes, you can repair, implement social programs. We got a great, Minnow has a great social program that's needed. Once you hear her story, it's a great story to talk about, and it's very needed, especially with the violence that's going on out here right now in St. Louis and across the country. So one of her programs, social programs, is outstanding. And she's looking good. She's on our team, and she'll talk more about that as we move on. New single-family homes. education assistance, child care, health facilities, everything that's lacking that's needed in these black communities, really. We want to tackle all that and bring it all on board. Okay, we want to get this through fundraising, grants, and sponsors. That's why we're launching right now the National MLK March towards $1 billion. But see, it's gonna take everybody in this room right now. We can't do that by ourselves. We already know that. But guess what? Your network is strong. Yours. How many people in your network right now? How many people social media right now probably got 1,000, 5,000 followers? Hello, 5,000. That's your job to get them on board, though, man. $1 goes a long way down MLK. That's how it goes. I already know. But what I'm saying is it's going to take a collective effort from everybody in this room. But guess what? We get $1 billion. What $1 billion can't feed all us in this room if everybody is diligently working towards $1 billion. It's easy to get, but it's going to take everybody to go in with it. $1 billion, each one of us can. Come on, man. It's easy to do for real. But we're going to get it anyway. We're going to use sponsors, corporate sponsors. We're going after grants, and we also going after private donations, private funding as well. Those are some of the money that we're looking for. Those are some of the phases. I'm not going to go into all that, but those are some of the phases that we got marked down in some of our proposals that we have. So all of this is going to take place within the next 3 years. And furthermore, look at the Legacy Park.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
Nice, real nice.
Super nice. Man, put his work in. Just tell you a place to gather, hold events, enhance the pride of the community, honor local national organization. Just give me a little information about it. Vibrant lights, it'll be lit up, well lit, and that's pretty much wrapping it up. This is the last, which is done by my man Derek Lauer. Man, my man put in work. Right now, I'm gonna turn it over to my man, the VP of Beloved Streets of America organization, Mr. DeJuan Hall. He can say a few things and say what he got to say and introduce some more of our guest speakers. Hello. Appreciate it.
Hello, everyone. My name is DeJuan Hall. I am the Vice President of Beloved Streets of America. I like to tell my story too. Just like Mel got a story, I have a story as well. You know, one day me and Melvin was at a mutual friend's house, and well, we wasn't at a house. We was at a bachelor party, and we was just, you know, everybody, you know, doing their thing around, and me and Mel just was sitting across from each other, and he said, man, I see you out here doing your thing. And I said, yeah, man, I see you out here doing your thing too, because I was in entertainment for 23 years as of last week. So he said, so entertainment was my thing, and I know Mel was out here doing all these marches and doing things for the community. And I'm like, man, you doing your thing too. He said, man, I need a guy like you with me, man. If I had a you on my team, man, the things that I do. I say, oh yeah? I say, that sounds good, you know. Just listening to your partner. I've been knowing Mel 20 years prior to that. So I said, man, matter of fact, I'm going to the Lorraine Motel in 2 weeks. And he was like, oh man, I said, you ever been to Lorraine Motel? He said, no, I ain't never been there. I said, man, I'm gonna tell you what it's all about when I get back. So I went to the Lorraine Motel. So as soon as I get out my car, I'm feeling this little eerie feeling, like it's a weird feeling that came over my body. I'm like, what's going on? Why am I feeling like this? You know? So as I walked up to the 306, you know, where they got the reef at, you know, as I walked up to it, you know, I'm really starting to feel weird. And I'm getting all these flashes in my head about, you know, what I grew up watching my whole life, what they taught me in the history books. And then I looked around and I see this line around the corner where they charging people $12 to get in to see where they assassinated this man, or tried to assassinate him. He didn't die there, he died in the hospital. So I'm like, wow, man. And then I went across the street and they showed us where the man actually took the shot at him. at the Lorraine Motel. And I'm like, wow, they straight getting paid off of assassination of Dr. King.
Wow.
But what about the streets that bears his name? They have a $150 million statue in Washington, D.C.
Wow.
that we just have to sit there and stare at. Like, wow. But what about the streets that bears his name? What about the streets that we live in every day that say MLK? What about those streets? Is it an agenda against our people? Why do they look like this? How can you glorify him with the monument along with Abraham Lincoln, along with Thomas Jefferson, along with George Washington, but not glorify the streets that bears his name? So that's what got me full throttle with Mel. I said, man, we got to do something about this. This ain't right. You right. This is not right. So I've been full throttle with Mel ever since. And we've been going around. We've been, like he said, we've been to different cities. We hooked up with Dr. Lance like a year ago. Dr. Lance put that swag on us, and it just went from there. So we stand here tonight. When you say $1 billion march, what we gotta understand, it's not donate a dollar. This is not the donate a dollar type of thing. $1 billion march is that we're marching towards $1 billion because we know what's needed to fix these communities.
Yes, sir. That's right.
It's not no marching in the streets no more.
Yes, sir.
It's not us crying about everything. It's us having an agenda
Yes, sir.
so we can get this problem solved in our streets. And that's the only way we're going to be able to do it. So the $1 billion march is corporations, actors, actresses, philanthropists, everybody. Everybody, we need everybody's support. Everybody.
He said LeBron James.
So that's what the $1 billion march is about. We're marching towards economics now. No more marching in the streets. We're marching towards rebuilding, revitalizing the streets that bears the name Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. And on our way there, we have gathered up a lot of talent. We gathered up talent in all kinds of different categories. We gathered up credit repair guys like my man Cobb over here. We gathered up gun violence advocates like Erica Minnow Jones. I'm sorry, Minnow. I ain't mean to twist your name, but Minnow Jones. We got a lot of people on board, like my cousin. Where you at? Landon. Where you at, brother? You had to leave? Well, he has the whole St. Louis public school system on lock through his Mentors in Motion program. And we try to get people every day that want to be a part of our initiative. What it is just a platform for everybody that's doing good business. And if you have a business, it's a platform for you to get on this platform to help your community out. So we can kill the stigma of black folks. You don't need us. If we have us sticking together, then we showing the rest of the community what it's like for black folks to stick together. So without further ado, I'd like to bring up a couple of more people that's helping us along the way. Mr. Cobb here, Mr. Cub, I'm sorry, Cub. Erica Minnow, Chico Weber. And I want everybody just to give a little brief introduction to what you do and what you do.
How you doing today? My name is Johnny Cub. I'm an agent at FES, which is Financial Education Services. And what we do is try to turn the mindset of the people to understand that credit is important. It is about you and how you handle your credit. I also brought along one of my business partners, Rose Guest. If you don't mind, Melvin, I'd like her to come up also. And she also does over $10,000 in sales with credit agency. So I'm gonna let her speak, give her a little insight on what she does.
Good evening, everyone. So as he was saying, credit is power, actually. And I actually like to be transparent. So when I got started with this company, I had just went through a life event, a divorce. My credit seemed like it was shot overnight. And it wasn't overnight, but it seemed that way. I wound up having to file a Chapter 13. At the time, I had worked with Melvin previously at the Postal Service, and I made too much money. But I was in over my head, so I needed something that was going to help me with my credit and not have to pay out more money monthly. So I found this service. Within 90 days of me being in it, I went from a 580 to a 712, so I know what this company does. Trying to get my services free, I signed up 7 agents in 1 week. So that gave me a stream of income and my services free. Since then, I've built a team of 200 people all over the United States. Sign up people anywhere in the United States. Now, the cool thing is that not only the company actually does all their disputes, but each customer gets their own private portal to log into 24/7. So they're able to go in there and get all the tools they need to learn how to build good credit. So it's not like the company's just doing it for them. They actually learn about credit and what they need to do with that. They have access to a credit attorney. They have identity protection and monitoring. They get credit builder that helps them, like I said, tools to build good credit. They get debt and budgeting tools that helps them learn how to budget their money and, get out of debt, whatever extra debt that they do have that they have to pay off. They get goals as well, so they're able to create multiple goals at one time. They get a living will and trust and power of attorney, which is huge. Because we know we see GoFundMe's all the time where people don't have their affairs in order. So the people that are here in St. Louis, when they do their living will and trust, comes in a really nice binder. All they need to do is drawn up by our attorneys that they also have access to. So in the event that they're getting harassed, the company will step in and sue, and they will be awarded monetary damages. I am a notary, so I'm able to notarize that for them. But it's a phenomenal company. And like I said, if they want to be able to get their services free, they can become a business partner and have a stream of income while getting that free.
Wow.
$2 off of each one is donated to the YFL, that's the Youth Financial Literacy Foundation. And the company goes into classrooms between, for students between the ages of 8 and 18. It teaches credit and financial literacy.
Wow, that's
a little
good.
bit more about that with the scholarships.
We're gonna close on that and give the other speakers some time. Thank you, Melvin.
Okay.
I appreciate you, man.
I just want to kind of reiterate a couple of points about the NLK Streets Initiative, which is again that there are some things that can be done with just elbow grease. That is picking up the litter, boarding up some of the buildings, cutting back the overgrowth. Some of those things can be done without spending any money at all. The second thing is that you got these buildings that are all decaying. Those are actually ways to make money. Those have value. And it's about getting people who are in the neighborhood, empowering them to be able to take a hold of those buildings, fix them up, and turn them into something else to use for another business for the community. Now, the middle part of that is that we also have the agriculture initiative, which is to create an economic engine for this middle part. The third part of that is that you're going to create an entertainment district around African American culture right there. And that's an important part of this equation, to create a destination where people will come to this area for the food, the music, the clothing, the Saturday market, all that type of thing. And once you've cleaned up the streets, once you've repaired the buildings, once you've created an entertainment district, then you draw a big development. That's where you get the people, capitalists to come in and build the things, and that's how that happens. But you gotta make the thing ready for those people to make money off of it.
Gotcha.
I'll keep mine really brief. So I've been working with Melvin, I guess, for five years now? Yep. And I originally heard about BSA through NPR. My brother actually got us in touch years ago about that, and I just heard about the initiative. He had passion and supporting his cause, and just discussing with Melvin and building out urban agriculture. So my biggest thing that I'm doing right now is product design. I work with a lot of startups, a lot of independent individuals that are growing out great ideas. A lot of them are here in St. Louis. And one of the biggest things right now that we're finding is just how do we feed people, and how do we feed people locally. And one of the largest things that's been growing now is specifically hydroponics, aeroponics, and aquaponic technology. This technology allows you to grow plants without soil, with controlled conditions, but the hardest thing has actually been finding an affordable way of developing this technology and deploying it within areas that you can do it cost effectively. So that's like energy, that's water, that's resources, that's human manpower. And surprisingly in St. Louis we have quite a lot of that. But we don't seem to have enough grocery stores in these areas. We don't have enough healthy food that's even supplied locally, even though now we have the technology that's available to do it. And so a big part of this initiative was, for myself and my company, but as a partnership, was to develop an effective solution where we can build the technology here in St. Louis, we can grow the food here locally, and we can actually employ local individuals to harvest this food and actually grow supportive businesses, especially in these areas where they seem blighted and they seem like these buildings can't be used for anything else. Well, we can use them to grow food, and we can grow enormous industries using it. So I hope this works out. It's been years.
It's gonna work, man.
Yeah, it's been years of developing this, and I hope to see this go to fruition with it.
Hello everyone, my name is Erica Jones. I am the founder of Voice of the Voiceless. I am an advocate of gun violence, and I am also a survivor. I don't look at myself as a victim because I feel like guess what, I'm still standing before you. So I could take that and just say, walk away with it, but I choose not to. I chose to start this organization back in 2016, a year after my daughter was murdered, standing out on the sidewalk talking just like we standing across from each other right now, or the person next to you. Her and her friend was standing there talking. I could have lost 3, my grandson and my youngest daughter. Unbeknownst to everything, I was at home and did not know what happened. My daughter was actually killed with an AK-47.
Dang.
So most of the men in here know what military rifles are and know the damage they can do. But my daughter was a $130 weight. So unfortunately, I had to put up a fight, and because my daughter was a fighter. But unfortunately, the last word she spoke to her sister was, "I love you." So those are the words that we keep in order for us to pursue and keep going. So therefore, I keep fighting for mothers, and I became a voice. I choose not to sit back and just let this continue to happen. I've been knowing my brother Juan for over 10 years. Due to me hosting different events and different things like that, he brought me on board and was like, "Hey, I want you to attend this meeting." I was like, "Oh Lord, here come another marketing scheme." So I stepped out on faith. So then I meet Dr. Lance. I was like, "Wait a minute, he too cool to dress." So I see him, and it was like, okay. And then I heard Juan say, "Okay, we talking about economics in order to build our brand, us as a people, come to where we need to be able, to build on our own." I've walked down Martin Luther King, actually walking to from the store with my children and everything. And I also work with young people. Actually, I work with your people, Landon Pitts. So I mentor young people ages 12 to 17 and a half who has adolescent substance abuse issues. And when I say I've dealt with the kids that have been shooters, those that have played the knockout game, those that have robbed, jumped on people on the Metro Lake, I know every one of those children that sits, and it starts in our home family. It starts there.
Absolutely.
So I would like for you guys, I have a video that you guys, I would want you to see, so you will know what my plight is and why I do what I do. He said NexCore office, where
That's Center TV.
Just hope and pray that it's just not your child, not your child, not your child, not your child. Our kids are taken just like it's nothing. Baby, I was born. want to take his life like that. Why did they do that? Why did they do that? They destroyed everything. I am my daughter's voice. I'm going to continue to be a voice, even for those mothers that cannot speak. I'm going to continue to be their voice. I am a chosen voice for the voiceless.
So my organization is up underneath BSA. Anything that I do, anything that when it comes to me and me speaking for mothers, I'm out here. You see me everywhere.
Yeah.
And I want to speak for mothers continuously, because a lot of people do not know that these young people are hurting. You have one out of 3 young black men, 9 times out of 10, will make it to a jail cell. Definitely guaranteed to make it to a jail cell. And that's with the trauma that they deal with within the household. A lot of people say, okay, where the trauma coming from? It starts within. It could be something that they saw from a fight of a mother, a father, a sister, a brother, anything. But at the end of the day, these kids are trying to find something, somewhere, somehow, and whatever ways to go. And us mothers are having to sit behind a wall, look through a pane window, and tell our child that we are sorry for where they are. We're sorry that this happened to you. Still taking the blame for our children's actions, because us mothers, we need everyone in this room. We need all of y'all. We need all of y'all. Everyone, every man that's in this room. I wish we see this when us mothers get together. I wish I could see half of the men that's in this room as for support, because I don't see them. And I beg and plead for men to come and stand with us mothers. Just like you lost a child, we lost a child too. But we need for y'all to stand with us in order for this to be able to push forward. I don't want no woulda, shoulda, couldas. I don't want no politician scenarios thing. I don't want none of that, because I have no problem with saying no. None whatsoever. I let God direct my paths. And wherever he puts me and places me, and whatever he say does, I obey at the end of the day. So I'm grateful for meeting Dr. Lance, for him to be able to come in and help me. I'm also appreciative of my brothers now, also being able to put me where I need to be at. I'm going to continue. So definitely look forward. This is definitely a documentary, family. It's those mothers that you saw on there, all of them were affected by gun violence. We also had a mother on there whose son was killed by police, shot over 35 times. We also had her in there, but it's still, violence is violence, however you look at it, and I need help. I need help.
Give BSA a round of applause. For more information, everybody, I want you to log on to www. Get your pen out or whatever. Write this down. I want you to log on to www.belovedstreetsofamerica.org.
We got Instagram at MLK Beloved Streets. We got Facebook. We need you to like our Facebook page, National MLK Street Initiative. And also contribute to the foundation of what we're doing. So don't walk out of here just thinking we ain't trying to get to that building. Don't drop it down like if you got it. If it's just $1, then it's $1. $1 goes a long way down MLK. So I'm looking for everybody that's in here to donate. I'm gonna be calling you too. For real, man, it's serious business. And a lot of times people think it's a joke. They run away from here and then we don't even hear from them no more. But I'm staying on you about this though. This going down for real. So, cause you can't say nothing. $1, you go drink your little 40 ounce for that. Come on now.
I was just telling them, you take all forms, we take all forms.
All forms.
Cash,
Cash app.
Cash app.
Cash app.
And then you can go to the website
the streets.
and the donate button.
It's
and
right there.
PayPal, you can do it
PayPal.
that way. So we don't have to take any of your information,
And
it's
share
easy
it.
and confidential.
Yep. And share it through your network. This is how we get to the billion. That's what I'm saying. It's a simple equation. It's just how much do you want to put effort into trying to make it happen.
Any capital letters on that Cash App?
Nope.
All lowercase?
It doesn't matter.
But we're gonna march anyway.
It's
We're gonna march
lowercase.
anyway. We got corporate things. We got a lot of things going on. Got a call out of New York. I was on a call today. He said, this guy said, hey man, I was doing some work over there in Haiti back in the day. He said, but I couldn't get enough people to get on board. He said, I love your initiative. He said, but he's connected with all the musicians, from Alicia Keys, Bruce Springsteen. He said, he's gonna get on board with this, connect up with them, to have them do some fundraising events for the Beloved Streets of America project. Maybe a concert. See, that's how you build that network. Can you imagine if we popping a concert off in each city with different various artists and the funds are coming back to the Beloved Streets of America project? Imagine Alicia Keys do a concert here, free. That's the type of stuff that we're working on right now. But we need the individuals to kick in too. But we're gonna do it anyway because we got enough network of people that's on board with it. But we'd love to have the people that's in here who believe in our mission to get on board. Because that billion gonna take care of all of us for real. Think about it. But how much you wanna put in? What's your grind like? Do you believe in it? Everybody knows people out here. Your network on Facebook, social media, has got to be at least 1,000. How many people here right now? That's probably 100, 200,000 people we can reach out. If everybody push that button. I'm a part of this. Let's go. They have to see the unity in order for people to get on board and gather on this initiative. That's why I want to take a picture with everybody in here to show, hey, we can just get on there and say, $1 goes a long way down MLK. Put it out there. Let them see that we got unity with this project. That's how people are. They follow us. They see enough people doing something, they're going to get on board.
That's right.
Simple as that. It can't be me and Juan and just 3 people. Got to be. Everybody talking about that. Everybody on social media say I'm a part of this $1 billion march. Get out there and say something, man. A couple words. Hey, this is for our community. I'm a part of this MLK project. Blah, blah, blah. Just keep it going. So that's how we looking at it. So I'm gonna be on you though about that little dollar though.
At least.
Take some pictures, say a few things. If y'all not in a hurry to go, because we only got a few more minutes, but we gotta get some pictures for this event so we can put it out there. We had a great event, great turnout, and I appreciate everybody coming out, man, supporting.